Welcome everyone. My name is Surya. I'm Surya Acharya, I should say. I chair the AFIN board, and that is the reason why I'm here. Just to welcome you all. And our first business is, you probably know already that our theme for the day is future of forages, and we will all the talks and everything will be around that. Yeah, please. That would help. Would that be okay, Dave? Okay. Before we do anything, I think Alberta Forage Industry Network respectfully acknowledges that we live and work on the traditional lands of Indigenous peoples, Inuit, First Nations, Métis of Canada. We honor the ancestry, heritage, and gifts of the Indigenous peoples and give thanks to them. That is our first duty nowadays. The second part is some housekeeping. You probably know where our washrooms are. It is to your left as you get out of the room. And more importantly, if there is an emergency, please go in an orderly way. Don't rush everybody. If you rush, then it would take longer to get out of this place. And for those who are attending through Zoom, I think for them, please use your chat for assistance if you have any assistance, need any assistance. And if you have questions for our speakers or during the discussion, please use the chat again for those, or raise your hand so that somebody, those who are moderating, would call on you. Next one is our sponsors. We are grateful to our sponsors for sponsoring this event. And that is the reason why we think that we can get together in person. It's not easy to do it without having funds. And we really appreciate all the sponsors we have in front of you. The Alfalfa Seed Committee, Farming the Web, of course, is a big sponsor for us. Alfalfa Seed Commission of Alberta, Performance Seed, Ducks Unlimited, Star Quality Sampler, Brett Young, and Mr. Pollination, and Union Forages is sponsoring our coffees. Now, a little bit about our AFIN. This one doesn't work, Amanda.
It's just delayed, I think.
No, I think she did it from there. Yeah, as I said, AFIN is run by a board of directors, and this board is actually about 15 people in the board. 15 people in the board, and I chair it. Ed Shaw is the vice chair. Nora Polovich, she is not here today, but she is our treasurer. Chris Folkert is our past chair. Grant Lustuka, who you would see in front of you quite a few times today, is our secretary. Then Doug Ray, can you please raise your hand, Doug? And John Bland, Alan Hall, he is Erica representative. We don't vote for him, but he is there as a representative. Amber Canyon is a member of the board. Raise your hand and stand up a little bit. Amanda, you're too small there. Alex Robertson. Here, good. Thank you. Kim Cornish. Right there with Amanda and Amber's table. Cole Zacharias. He's not here. And then Brent Thigeson. He is not here either. Dwayne. Thank you, Dwayne. Mary Jan Block is there. Stand up, please. Then people would see. Courtney O'Keefe. Stand up, Courtney. That's a little bit of exercise for you too. Greg Earl, not here. Lori Keeney. She is an advisor from ABP, Alberta Beef Producers. Darren Brazil. He is the advisor from AFC. He is here, but he's just may have walked out. We are missing an advisor from Alberta Agriculture, and hopefully we'll have someone soon from there. And last but not the least, our office staff, only office staff, that too part-time, is Amanda Bouchard. So I think in the AGM, normally we say what we did in the past year. So I put few of the major things we have done. And one of the thing is that our vision has not changed. I think we're still working on the same vision we had started with 13 years ago. Alberta Forage Industry Network fosters interactions for all that have a passion for forages and grasslands, championing research, education, and extension. And in the last year, we have done few things, a few major things, that is farming the web, hub of information and marketplace created by producers for producers. We had done it 2 years ago, but again, we had to revamp it and we released it again last year. Forages as a foundation of life, we seriously believe in that. And we also believe that you can have forage without livestock, but you can't have livestock without forages. We want to be a voice of the forage in Alberta, focus on the impact of forages and environment. We are working on that, and you will see when we talk about the strategic plan we have developed. Last year, we did few things, and I think these are listed here. The main thing I would draw your attention to is in November, we completed a strategic plan and circulated it to our stakeholders who are board members, and got their comments and everything for making corrections to the document you see in front of you. We have give each of you a copy of the strategic plan. So I think at this stage, I think what I will do is I'll introduce our guest. He is Brad Rutherford, who is the MLA for this area, for Leduc and Beaumont area, and to bring greetings from the provincial government.
Thank you so much. I will try not to make any mistakes with the microphone. My family history, is this working? See, I did it already. It always embarrasses me because my uncle was on the air for, decades, Dave Rutherford. So anytime I screw it up, I feel like he just knows wherever he is, he knows. And I will try to be on time. When he was asking earlier, saying this is a tight agenda, he wants the speakers to be on time. That message was just for me because he doesn't want me rambling on. So I'll be quick and I'll be reading through these notes because they're on behalf of Minister Horner. I want to say first, welcome to Leduc. I appreciate that you're having your AGM here. I'm the MLA for Leduc-Beaumont and the Chief Government Whip as well. And it's my pleasure to be here on behalf of Minister Horner to bring greetings from Premier Smith and the Alberta government. Alberta's forages have an exceptional worldwide reputation, partly due to our growing conditions, but largely due to the hard work and dedication of the AFIN and the people here today. Our government stands with you and understands the challenges facing the forage sector. And I can assure you there are some very good experts in our caucus who have strong backgrounds in agriculture and can speak with a great deal of expertise on a lot of these topics. Some of the challenges, of course, inflation, the federal carbon tax, and rising input costs are concerns for producers in every sector of our rural economy. And despite these obstacles, agriculture continues to be a source of job creation, investment attraction, and pride. Last year, forage exports increased by nearly 30%, bringing in millions to the province from markets like Japan, the US, and South Korea. It is still very early in 23, but I hope that this year we'll see another historic high point. And today marks a big milestone for Alberta's forage industry with the launch of the Provincial Forage Strategy. This strategy will outline the sector's needs and specific actions to help move into the future. Focus on production and its impacts on other sectors that rely on forage, and look at the sector's soil health and other ecological benefits. And I want to give a big thanks to the AFIN for leading the effort, and to the Agricultural Research and Extension Council of Alberta and Results-Driven Agricultural Research for being essential partners. Glad to see Mark Redmond on the agenda as well for the RDAR, has been funding exciting projects for forage and much more. Our government is committed to providing stable funding that makes the most impact. And the RDAR, I was practicing that initialism several times. If you throw in another A word, we can just go radar and keep it a lot simpler. Has led the effort, bringing in industry, post-secondary, and government partners. About a month ago, the RDAR announced a partnership funding of a total $6 million for multiple research projects covering livestock and grazing. One example was the investment of more than $400,000 to 10 applied research associations for regenerative agricultural knowledge and translation and transfer for grassroots forage and livestock producers of Alberta. It is a great project, not only highlighting the work our producers do to benefit soil health, water quality, and feed production, but also spreading knowledge about best practices across the world to our producers. And I look forward to seeing the project's impacts. It has only been around for a couple of years, but already the RDAR has been a prime example of the impact that we can have working together toward a common goal and a thriving agricultural industry. We are committed to carrying on working together to find ways to support the ag industry's growth, create jobs, and the contribution to our economy. As highlighted in the provincial budget, we announced at the end of February, rural Alberta and the agricultural sector will continue to be a driving force in Alberta's economy by attracting investment, creating jobs, and expanding trade. The budget allots $4.6 million in new funding to implement the economic development in rural Alberta plan, so rural Albertans have more economic opportunities close to home. We are supporting the province's economic growth and creating jobs by ensuring that rural Alberta businesses, including farmers and processors, have what they need to be successful. It's a 5-year plan, and I look forward to working together to get the best results for rural Albertans. Thank you again to the AFIN for inviting me. Enjoy the rest of the AGM, and thank you so much for everything that you do for the agricultural industry and for Albertans. Thank you.
Dave Rutherford would be proud. So Surya, that was a great example of where to hold the microphone and how to hold it. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Surya.
That means I'm not doing it right. That's what you're
I'm just
saying, Dave, right?
I'm just saying that's a good. He did a good job.
Okay. He has a person to look up to. I didn't have one. Now I have. Okay. Now the second person who would bring greetings from our federal government is Senator Paula Simons. Is she here? I don't see here yet. So do you have her recorded message or anything? No? Okay. That the plan was that she would be in Ottawa on this day. So she was supposed to send us a recorded message so that we can play it. But then she decided not to go to Ottawa for some reason. So she was supposed to be here. So maybe she will show up a little bit later. We'll give her time to speak to us. Now, the most important thing, the document, which I think our Brad mentioned about the strategic plan. Let's go into the strategic plan. Okay, AFIN board members came up with this plan. I think it took us good whole year to develop with constant consultation with different stakeholders and our board members. So this AFIN strategic plan was developed, and now it is in front of you. If you don't read the whole 26 pages of it, please read the 2-pager, the fact sheet we have included in the envelope. I think you have the fact sheet with you. It's only 2 pages. It summarizes everything that is there in the long 26-page document. So please read that, and I will only mention few things that are extremely important for us. I think you probably all know, and all the economic indicators, of course, Brad suggested that we have some good export and things like that. But all the economic indicators so far, when we were doing the research for coming up with this strategic plan, pointed towards a major decline in forages. This is especially alarming for forage industry, as many perennial forage stands are being converted to annual cash crops, which will have lasting effect on health of the entire farming community in Alberta. Historically, Alberta's forest sector has been a major supporting partner of the ruminant livestock industry, including beef, equine, sheep, buffalo, etc., and has helped to protect and improve the health of our soils. However, contribution of forages has never been fully appreciated or recognized. Now, there is a realization that the diverse, about $3 billion per annum provincial forage industry needs a well-thought-out plan to gain the attention it deserves. And actually, because of that, we started working on this project. This strategic plan was developed with funding from ARDAR. ARDAR was the key funding agency who helped us develop this. And so ARDAR, we appreciate, Mark, your group's efforts to put together or encourage us or inspire us to come up with something like a plan for next 10 years. And we have done it. The main plan is that we have come up with is a long-term plan. It's a 10-year plan, which is overall what we are planning to do over the next 10 years. It does not have the specifics. So I say that the strategic plan document released today is the first phase of a 3-phase forest strategy framework. The first phase you have in front of you. But the second phase would be expand each of the priorities. We have identified 6 pillars. Over the next 6 months, we will expand on them try to find specific things that we are going to do in consultation with our stakeholders, of course. This will include an articulation of the research, development, and extension required to catalyze a robust advancement and capture the economic and environmental value of forages. That is important for us. That's why we are going to do this. And in the third phase, which would be the most important phase for us, would be development of a funding proposal to put a forage crop center of excellence staff component in place to manage the identified priorities. Hiring appropriate personnel will be our number one job, as without people, we are limited in what can be accomplished now and in the coming years. This phase will also include specific research areas which need to be identified to support implementation of this strategy. The document has outlined a number of important issues and their mitigation strategies. We could not put it in that two-pager. We have come up with the executive summary, but in the long document, we have those. Most of these issues stem from the fact that there is no full-time staff to carry out the functions necessary or infrastructure support to deal with the identified issues that have negatively impacted the industry. That is our main problem. So what we think would fix this problem would be significant progress in the areas identified as issues can be made by long-term funding for a province-wide coordinating body, such as the Forage Crop Center of Excellence, with appropriately trained personnel and supportive infrastructure. At present, the forage industry does not have the capacity to do this alone and needs support from the provincial government, RDAR, BCRC. This is how you say it, Brad. RDAR. And Alberta beef producers to start the process. It is expected that when the real value of forages, including their value in providing permanent soil cover, contributing to soil biodiversity and function, increased soil organic matter and carbon sequestration, resulting in improved soil health, is recognized, investment from the private sector will grow and help bring the importance of forages to the forefront. I'm sorry, I should have been doing this too. So, as with any effective plan, the Alberta Forage Strategy is expected to evolve and grow over time in response to industry feedback and new data. Stakeholders, researchers, and those interested in assisting with the further development of this strategy can contact AFIN at albertaforages.ca for more information. One thing I should say that our big sponsor, as I said, is Farming the Web. So I must say one or two words about that. Even before that, can I see if Dr. Singh is here? He has not arrived, okay. This Farming the Web website, we set it up, and then now it is in place for buy and sell. But what we are trying to do more importantly is now to add more things into it so that it would be more useful for farmers, not just for buy and sell, but for information also. The new and improved Farming the Web was launched on August 1st, 2022. AFIN is currently looking for funds to bring resource documents from Alberta Agriculture, Roping the Web, to Farming the Web. So I think now, what is the time? Are we doing okay time-wise? Okay. What we wanted to do, and we missed two. I wanted to have Paula also speak now, and also we have a special guest who is coming from Lethbridge College. We wanted to introduce him and give his thoughts about what this the Center of Excellence, where it can be set, and they think that all the Lethbridge College is well set for hosting something like this. Dr. Singh, are you ready to say a few things? See, he is always ready. I want him, is Chanda Sighn. He is the senior research chair in Lethbridge College. He is actually in charge of setting up all the research in Lethbridge, and he has kindly agreed to come here and to share with us his thoughts about this Center of Excellence. Dr. Singh. Yeah, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chanda Sighn, and as Dr. Acharya introduced me, I am Senior Research Chair in Ag Engineering and Technology. So my research focus is on post-harvest side. That's my current focus. And it's about more than 3 years ago when I joined the college, I started a new program in advanced post-harvest technology, and we got some funding from CFI, which allows you to build research capacity with the $2.4 million grant. So one is from the Fed, 1 million, and 1 million matched by province most of the time, and then 20% is industry contribution. So that's the model with the Fed, province and industry, and that shows the collaboration. So with that money that we have been able to build 3 grain bins at the college research farm and 1 high temperature dryer, and on the lab side, I'm able to do most of the grain quality testing at the moment. So wheat, barley, canola, or any specialty crops. We also involved in sugar beet storage. That's another local crop in southern Alberta, and we are working with Lantic in Tabor there, where they have the aerated storage system. So we are developing wireless sensing technology for monitoring of beets and automated aeration, which is funded by Alberta Innovates. We are also doing grain drying project, Alberta-wide study, looking at different type of dryers and their energy efficiency, quality, in-bin drying, high temperature drying, fuel type, fuel efficiency, and what is the carbon footprint on that. That's funded by ARDAR, Alberta Innovates, Alberta Wheat Commission, Saskatchewan Wheat Development Commission, and CAP. So these are 5 funders. They came on board to jointly fund that project for $500,000. So that's third year of the study. And in next phase of expansion, now we are planning to set up another similar center on the grain processing side, which will focus on the milling technology. And another vertical will be on feed milling. And third one will be on pulse processing. So these are the new initiatives that I'm trying to establish at the college. So that's my program here. Before joining the college, I was in Australia. I was associate professor in stored grains engineering, and which was funded by University of South Australia, my appointment, and GRDC. So GRDC is the single check-off money, like your wheat board, canola council. So they manage the check-off money from all the 24 crops in Australia, and then fund the research in different aspects. So they're a single entity. So they funded my appointment. So I was there with them for 3 years before joining to the college. Prior to that, I was in Canada. I did my PhD from University of Manitoba and biosystems engineering. And then I work in industry in Calgary. So that's how I have been involved with this research and training. My background is in ag engineering. So I am trained as agriculture engineer. That's my background. Okay. And if you have any questions, I did not prepare anything, but thanks for the opportunity.
Why you were excited and why did you come to our meeting?
Yes, sure. So when we talk about actually, as I mentioned, that feed milling is a feed processing is one area that we have been already discussing. And prior to this meeting, Dr. Acharya, he facilitated a meeting with AFC in Lethbridge. That's what the things that we are planning. So it nicely fits into the program and our background. And we have the capacity at the college with the farm. I have a good team, about 5 to 7 postdocs and different backgrounds. So we are already able to do most of the quality testing, and it won't be difference whether we are doing with the grain or with any other forest. And that's our background. And I like to explore new things and take new opportunities, new challenges. That's what I like to do. That's why I came here. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. So now I think we will turn it over to Grand Lestuka for the reports.